Good morning and welcome to another Wednesday Wisdom with Jim. I'm excited that you're here and I'm looking forward to sharing with you again as we continue our look into John Maxwell's book, Becoming a Person of Influence. And of course, we all want to be influential in our communities and our families and those around us, and especially in our businesses. And today I'm going to share another lesson that helps us in that journey. And today's lesson is about nurturing. And you might say, well, how is nurturing important to becoming a person of influence? Well, it's very valuable. Perhaps not as valuable as integrity, but it's just as valuable as anything else that we're going to share. I think integrity is always first. So today, let's just dive right in. This probably will be a little bit shorter lesson today, but it's one that you can get some really good bullets from that will help you as you become a person of influence. And of course, influence is so important. We've talked about this over and over again. If we're going to get people to join us on our quest to become our best versions and to help them become their best versions, then we must be able to nurture them along that journey. So what does nurturing mean to you? Well, nurturing means something probably different to all of us. But for me, nurturing means that I am there to lift somebody up and to help them wherever they might be on their journey, to add value to them, to help them move forward from where they are today to where they dream about being in the future. So, people often forget about taking care of the emotional side of people. This is what nurturing is about, is focusing on the emotions that we all have to deal with. And I'm sure you would agree with me right now, we've got a crazy different types of emotions going on all over the place, sort of like a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, just think about all of the minutia that we're having to deal with right now. But if we're not focused on our teams and nurturing them and looking at them from what's going on, not just physically staying healthy and working out and doing that, but how are you doing emotionally? And nurturing people helps us in that process. There are some things that we can do to help in that process. And it begins by being a giver. I talk about the giver's gain philosophy from my days of BNI, but even before I was a member of the Business Networking International community, I was part of the giver's gain mentality. When I was a recruiter with the Air National Guard, that was my philosophy. If I give, then I will be able to get back what I need. And so what I gave training to a lot of high school courses, and I helped them in their training in school, in their ROTC programs. And as a result, I got back what I needed. I needed the opportunity to be in front of the kids so that I could influence them into joining the Air National Guard. So being able to think about it from that giver's gain perspective. And so here's some things that you can do as it relates to becoming a better giver as a nurturer. Because as a nurturer, we focus more on giving than getting. Today, our society is more about what I can get and less about what I can give. And we need to flip that. We need to be more about what we can give and less about what we get. Because the more we give, as I just said, if we give, we will eventually get back what we need. Zig Ziglar said, to be successful in this life, all you have to do is help enough people get what they want, then you'll get what you want. You may want to start giving others in these areas. For example, love. Everyone needs to feel valued. Valued is one of those most important things that we have to be able to share, is give and add value to others. And I hope that's what I'm doing with you. I hope I'm adding value to you in every one of these talks. And if I'm not, then I'm not doing what I need to do. And so when I coach my other clients, when I'm working with other teams, it's about adding value. And it's because I start with that love idea in the beginning. We have to respect others. And gosh, today, that's one of the biggest things that we're missing is the respect for other people. And if we're not respecting others, how can we nurture them? Respect is the thing that really is the cornerstone of being able to nurture somebody else. If you don't respect them, you certainly can't nurture them. And we have to develop an attitude of respect for others. I'm reading a great book right now called The Third Option by one of the speakers from the John Maxwell training. And that book is all I've done is read the first chapter, and it has opened my eyes so much to about what we need to do as it relates to respecting others. And so as we think about those two things, we think about how we can better respect others. So what do we need to do to become a person of nurturing? What is it that we need to take into action to become better nurturers? And so I got a few things I want us to look at. And it begins with a couple of things that have to do with making changes in our own approach. Number one, let's think about cultivating an attitude of other-mindedness. Other-mindedness. That means we take that thought off of ourselves and place it on others. And here's how we do that. We start by, we make a commitment to them. And I think that the Hatchell-Burke team has made a commitment to all of you. And that's because they respect you and they want to nurture you and take you on a journey to reach your highest level, to become your best version. There is no doubt in my mind that they believe in each one of you, which is the second thing. So we commit and we believe. And then we become accessible to them. We are there for them when they need us. It's like and it's no strings attached, we expect nothing in return. We are here for you. That's it. It goes back to the giver's gain. I don't expect to get anything in return. And going back to Zig Ziglar's quote, I want to help you. And I know that if I help you, then in the end, I am going to receive what I'm looking for. And that's the opportunity to watch you grow and to see you grow. I was working on something last night for a Toastmasters event that I am preparing to speak at this weekend. And one of the questions they asked me is, what is your interest and what is it that inspires you? And what inspires me is to see others reach their highest level of success. What inspires me is to watch others' eyes light up and to feel and know that they have accomplished something or had that aha moment where they discovered something that is going to help them get to the next level. That's what inspires me. And so I do that, and I don't expect anything in return, but when I see that, that's what I'm getting back. So we want to give them opportunities, show them opportunities to help them become their best versions. And we want to be able to lift them to a higher level. So nurturing other people is so important, especially in what we do in our business. if we're not nurturing people, if we're not building relationships with other people, if we're not learning about them and getting down to their level, it's not going to be beneficial to us. And we can't lift them up and help our businesses grow if we're not doing those things and creating that relationship between our customers and our clients and our teams. So developing developing a nurturing environment in our business is so absolutely important. And as I spoke earlier, it's about loving, respecting, and honoring, and believing in your team and those on your team. And when we do that, we create a sense of security with them. They feel better. We're helping them. And it's really about developing a trust. And that's the biggest and most important thing that we can ever do as nurturers, is to build trust in those that we're nurturing, that we're working to help grow. We take down all those boundaries, and we create that level of transparency and trust with them, so that we know that we are there and for them, and we are committed to them, and that we care about them. And that's the most important part, is when they feel that and when they know that, then we become nurturers. And we become nurturers. We become better influencers in our business, in our community, in our home, in everything we do. So if we are doing all that, if we're becoming better nurturers, what are the rewards for those who we are nurturing? What did they get? What is it? What's in it for them? And so here are a few things that they will receive. They get you. They get you to be on their side. It helps them find their place. And that's, if I could stop right here, right now, it's because each one of you have so much value within you that when you're nurturing somebody else with all the things that we've talked about up to now, then they get you. And that's one of the most important things in this entire process. Yesterday, I was coaching one of my clients, and we were talking about storytelling. And so each one of you has a story, and that story needs to be told. And the reason that story needs to be told is because you do not know who it might impact and change their trajectory for everything in their lives. You could be the tipping point that puts them on a journey to the greatest success that they've ever experienced in their lives. But if we're not telling our stories, if we're not being there to let other people know about the journey that we've been on and the journey that we're on, then we're missing an opportunity to nurture others and to be an influencer in their lives. So what else do they receive? They receive a positive self-worth. And self-worth and self-esteem impacts everybody's life. Everybody needs a little bump in self-esteem and self-awareness right now, because we're being beat down by so much negativity in the world. We need to think about the positive aspects of our journey, our lives. And all of us have succeeded at something in our journey. And we have to reflect on that and use it to move forward and become our best version. And when we're nurturing others, we help them have a sense of belonging, because, there's really not much that is more important than helping somebody feel valued and more important. Too often in this world today, we're talking about beating people down. If you listen to the media, you watch the news, You look at your phone and Facebook, it's about beating people down, how bad things are and how bad people are. But if we're going to be true nurturers, we're going to be finding those positive things, those successes that people have had on their journey, and we're going to be lifting them up and nurturing them on their way to becoming their best versions. We provide them hope, and there's nothing more than we can do than to add hope. You know, the Bible tells us it's faith, hope, and love, and the most important of all is love, but you got to have hope and faith before you can have love, and you build all those together. And as nurturers, that's what we have in our hands, is the opportunity to do that, to be better, to be those individuals out there sharing the message of love, hope, respect, integrity. We're committed, we believe, and we trust. And when we can combine all of that information, when we can combine all of those activities, when we can combine all of that information, and we use it to nurture our teams, our families, our community, then we become people of influence. And when you are influencing people in a positive direction, you can have a positive change and impact positive change in everything around you. So today, my challenge for you is to ask yourself, who are you nurturing? How are you nurturing them? And how can I become a better nurturer in my journey? We all need to be nurtured, all of us. And as a community of Shackley Hatchell-Burt team members, we are here to nurture each other and to help each other become our best versions. Well, thank you for joining me on Wednesday Wisdom. I am excited to be with you, and I look forward to our next conversation next Wednesday, where we'll be sharing another one of John's pearls of wisdom as we share about having and believing in others. This is Jim saying, have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next week.